G'day YouTube, it's DanilROC here, and today I'm going to be playing some DanilROC Starts on a game that I got from the Humble Indi Bundle called Thomas Was Alone. I have no idea what I'm in for in this game. I expect that it's an indie game. Alright, well, let's resume. It was a massive flop. The coders started adding name strings as a joke. Thomas wasn't special, he was just an AI. Movement keys.
Thomas was alone. Wow. A weird first thought to have.
Okay, my mouse is not used for anything at this point. I'm going to assume that this is some sort of platforming game. Okay, fall damage? No, not apparently.
Thomas decided to start listing his observations for posterity.
Wonderful, let's do that.
1. The whole alone thing. 2. Portals. They led somewhere.
Yep.
He'd yet to work
That's
out
apparent.
where. 3. Falling. Thomas was absolutely fantastic at falling. He was almost as good at falling as he was at observing.
Oh, wonderful, Thomas. I'm so proud of you. It's amazing. By the way, you're a pink rectangle.
Okay, interesting. Thomas couldn't fall past this block. Think, damn it, think. What if there was some kind of inverted fall? Some way to... what's the word? Jump.
Okay, so it's trying to tell me that jump is space.
It worked! Thomas had solved the great inverted fall mystery.
Is that a mystery? Oh, look at that. The source of light is somewhere about here. Yes. So space or W jumps. This may be slightly more
A
problematic.
big jump. But Thomas noted there was no real danger in missing it. The world didn't want him to fail here. It was pushing him, but gently.
Alright, very story-driven for a game with a rectangle as the playable character.
This all seemed a little dangerous.
Oh, wow.
The world was not to be
Jeez.
trusted. It was unstable, and it seemed to Thomas that it could let him down at any moment.
Calm yourself, random world. It's a great thing we solved that inverted fall thing.
Thomas wondered whether the portals were actually taking him anywhere. He felt like he was making progress, but there wasn't really any way to know.
Yeah, there is.
He seemed to be moving predominantly up and to the right, which might...
It's pretty obvious that I'm making progress. There's a big number, 0.7.
It might have been paranoia again, but Thomas could have sworn the world was becoming more complicated. It always seemed to be one step ahead of his skills.
What are you talking about? I'm a boss. Oh,
It had
crap.
been designed just for him. He wondered why. Was the world testing him? No. Too obvious.
Well, there's a little bit of a double jump there. It's very chill music.
Something about the boiling, toxic, glowing water intimidated Thomas. He didn't like it. He certainly didn't want to swim in it.
Oh, that's so tempting.
He made another mental note. 4. Water. Not good. To be avoided.
I'm very proud of you, Thomas, for making that observation. It's amazing. So I'm artificial intelligence right now.
The loneliness was getting to Thomas.
Oh.
No amount of observation or obsessive note-taking could combat that.
I'm sure that if you obsess over note-taking... you're quite used to being alone. Also, that should combat the loneliness, because you'd be used to it, and therefore you won't feel lonely anymore. I'm not speaking out of experience. Don't be ridiculous. I'm fine. Wow, that's not how decimal
Thomas
points work.
had a new theory. The world was training him. He could feel himself getting smarter. There was the mental list to consider. Over the minutes and seconds since his spontaneous generation, he'd become a pretty skilled jumper.
Yeah, wonderful. Also, faller.
He was evolving. He just wished he had someone to share it with.
Is that so? Well, I'm sorry, Thomas, but, this is very disorientating. Finally. Well, just training him, eh? Well, training him for what? submitted hundreds of bug reports. I told that idiot this would happen. Overlapping scripts, more than one AI was bound to be spawned into an environment at some point. Turns out I missed the point. A little error changed everything. Q and E scroll.
Chris took an immediate and deep dislike to the skinny red rectangle. Who the hell did this Thomas think he was?
Excellent. That's not going to be confusing at all.
Chris had been doing fine. He wasn't the highest jumper, but he'd held his own. He'd even been graceful at times.
Sure he has been.
Well, not actually. Not technically graceful. It's probably the wrong word, but, you know, fine. There was that skinny little runt leaping about like he owned the place.
This is rather entertaining, considering I'm just a rectangle and a square. Well, actually 2 squares, since no, 2 rectangles and 2 squares. A square is a type of rectangle, after all. That was a lot smaller than I expected it to be. Chris is just as fantastic at falling as Thomas is, so Thomas cannot boast that over Chris, for sure. Although I definitely see where Thomas is far superior at jumping. Okay, num keys. What?
Okay, this was more like it. A glowy white thing. Only Chris could get to it, which of course made it all the more enticing. What would it do? What new opportunity might this switch open up to him?
Well,
Grace. Another chance for Thomas to jump slightly higher than Chris. How fortunate. Seriously, this made the whole switch pressing thing entirely worthwhile.
oh, it's a team building game right here, except that it's single player only. Oh, cool. 1.4.
Was this good? Because on the surface, it did not seem good.
Oh,
Chris was pretty scared. Red seemed fine.
Don't be scared,
on his
Chris.
merry little adventure. Chris couldn't shake the feeling that things had taken a significant turn for the worse since Thomas had joined him.
Oh, jeez, how am I...
Sure, he'd been able to piggyback his way to ever so slightly higher platforms, but where had that got him? Well, to ever so slightly higher platforms, which was sort of his point.
Go! 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 Oh. Oh, crap. Well, alright, cool. Well, Chris is never getting back up there. Thomas, you little boss. Let's go! Yep, over here's how you meant to get here. Chris probably needs some assistance going the other way, I would imagine. Oh, no, he's got this like a boss. MLG Pro Chris right there. Thomas is leaps and bounds ahead of Chris, pun intended. Just a pair of mates, aren't they? Really?
Chris stared at Thomas with pure hatred. He seemed so very happy at their situation. Friends together, a brave fellowship of quadrilaterals on a quest for greatness.
Fellowship of Quadrilaterals.
That would be fine.
Oh.
But it was all the obvious observation that Thomas was doing which grated. Every time they saw something vaguely new, Chris would hear a satisfied little from the vaulting idiot.
The vaulting idiot.
He hoped the next portal would split them up, if only for a few levels.
That's going to get complicated really fast. Oh, haha. Absolutely bossly. Alright, up we go. What's the bet that this is going to be for Chris up here? Oh. Actually, haha. That was heart skipped a beat right there. Yeah, well, Chris, you got a way better KD than Thomas at this point. Ah, that was just wait. All right, Chris is first. He takes priority at this point. Come on, Chris, you bouncing little blob. Excellent. You know, Thomas, if you were just a little bit shorter, you could be more like Chris. Which is probably not a good thing, because then the pair of you would be stuck a couple of levels back, I would imagine. Whee! Oh, please stay still. Ha ha. Oh, life flashed in front of my eyes. That's not necessary. Still, wonderful at falling, the pair of them. Oh, 3. This is going to be fun, isn't it?
He knew that this was his chance. A moment to shine. This was game day.
Oh, I've got to use E as well. Is that... Alright. No, it doesn't help me using 1 and 2 because I still need to... Oh, yeah. Alright, I'm Myron. Wow.
This would not do. John needed room to show off his exceptional skills.
Yep.
As it was, he was trapped on the wrong side of these little dot things.
Little dot things.
Where did they come from, anyway?
Alrighty, John. Welcome to the trio.
John inhaled the air of the open space.
Wow.
It smelled of awesome.
Yep.
Time to flex those muscles, to put his training to use. Time to show those little dots how it was done.
They're not dots.
John decided to press the switch to let the little dots catch up with him. John cared for his new allies.
Wonderful.
You could tell from the sympathetic expression he practiced in the mirror all these years.
To what expression? I mean, I know what sympathetic means. I mean, he has an expression when he's a rectangle of average size. Especially when we're zoomed out like this. Please make it. Oh, wrong one. Not what I meant to do. Alright, I'm learning. Wonderful. Are you all just as good at falling as each other? Chris is horribly slow. I imagine... No, it's all safe. It's still safe. Oh, that's going to be a problem, isn't it? I imagine that Thomas will be rather stuck. Oh, Chris is probably not even going to make that one. Come on, Chris, you lazy little square, you. Alright, well, out of the way. Chris, like a boss, just an absolute machine that he is. Thomas, wonderfully being assisted by John over here. John, Thomas, and Chris, best of friends. Trio, unstoppable trio of... I don't know anymore. This is going to be difficult. He can't even get on top of him without Thomas's help. Oh boy. Move it out, move him across, get Thomas on top here, get him on top of Thomas. Alright. Go, 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 go! I'll get it eventually! You can do it! Oh, you know what?
John was happy to keep helping. He felt it was important to his image that he was seen to help the little guys.
Well, good guy John right here. Good guy John. Such a mate. He's a true mate. Oh, come on. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh. Oh, Chris, you bulker. Chris is an absolute monster. Oh, jeez. Ah. Oh, come on. So useless. Really? Upsy daisies. Alright, let's make a little platform for Chris. Oh. Oh. Chris. Lay off the shit. Wow, yep, words. Lay off the burgers, mate. Alright, steps up to Chris. I mean, steps for Chris. Excellent. Just what the doctor ordered. Alrighty, what's the next challenge?
He didn't mind them so much either. The red one, Thomas, had a charming way of applauding every time John jumped.
Up we go. Think you can make it? Oh, Chris, you little legend. Alright. Upsy daisies. Oh. 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 Bugger. Oh well, Thomas doesn't suck at everything in life like Chris, so... That, Oh! Thomas, you suck at everything in life more than Chris. Might be largely due to the fact that I'm extremely impatient.
The angry orange one was less immediately likeable, but his unremitting cynicism and tutting amused John.
Oh, come on now. Teasing it. Alrighty. Alrighty. Look at this good guy, John. Good guy, Thomas. Helping out fat mate, Chris. Come on, mate. You can do it. You can do it much better than this. Chrissy boy.
This was interesting. A floating target. This would require coordination, balance, and timing.
You sure?
John was sure the dots would be lost, but he was happy to guide them to triumph.
Happy to guide them to triumph. Well, that expects that I've already finished it. Got some news for you. Not quite up to that yet. Oh. Yep. Oh. See you,
Maybe
mates.
that's what the dots were for. They were there to extend John's reach, to make his performance even more impressive. John liked the thought. He decided to keep them.
What do you mean he decided to keep them? They're Chris and Thomas's pets. Actually... I just moved that out of the... Oh, he can't reach up there, can he? He needs to get up on top. Oh, bossly. Alrighty. Is Chris in spot still? You fatty? Alright, we ready? We are ready. That's how we roll, bruh. Mate, this is how we do it. Mateship right there. This is DanilROC. This has been a Let's Start. This is Thomas with the Lion. Thanks for watching.